In this video, you're going to find out how you can guarantee that your startup won't fail. Hey, welcome to this channel. So you've probably heard of the lean, mean startup machine. And you know what? You need to be one if you want to start a business, since 75% of all new businesses fail. And in this video, I'm going to spill the beans on a foolproof formula that guarantees your business doesn't fail. That's right, I know I'm making some bold claims here. So no ruined startup budgets, no patronizing I told you so looks from family members, and most importantly, your grandparents' savings are safe. So this is important, listen good. I define a startup as an initiative designed to create a new product or service under conditions of extreme uncertainty. And according to Eric Ries, creator of the formula that I'm about to share with you, early stage businesses fail because they try to follow traditional business models. But how can you follow a traditional business model if you're not sure about who your ideal customer is or what your finished product should look like? Maybe you're still perfecting a product or service and you're not sure what features will bring most value to your customers. If you're this kind of startup and you're investing a lot of time into building your traditional business model, you're risking a lot. Let me explain. Think about it this way. A business model takes ages to lay out, and the actual business is on hold until the perfect plan is mapped out. This stage takes anywhere up to 18 months. 18 months before you can go to the market to test your hypothesis. Now, don't get me wrong, this kind of business model works for certain established businesses with stable operating histories. But let's face it, you're just building your business. It's a startup, a new business venture operating under uncertain conditions. So the sooner you test your assumptions, the sooner you'll know whether it's time to persevere and stick with it, keep developing the product, or whether it's time to pivot without wasting your grandparents' savings. Have some mercy. So there you have it. Most businesses fail because they waste money on perfecting their business plans when what they should be doing is hitting up the market. Instead of creating a massive traditional business plan for your startup, treat it as a series of micro experiments where you have time to speak to the market and get a proof of concept. You know, the world's only certainty is its uncertainty, and that's why this method is perfectly geared to the reality we live in. In order to avoid startup failure, test an assumption before committing to a plan. Do you want to know how? The build, measure, learn cycle. First, you build a low-effort product that can be tested quickly. No wasting time on perfecting a product without customer feedback. This low-effort product is called the minimal viable product or minimal viable service, and the simplest version of a product that you can test but that will still validate your offer. And this is a bare beta version. No bells, no whistles. Next, get some customers to test it and measure their feedback. No abstract market research, only evidence-based feedback coming directly from potential customers interacting with your product. And this allows startups to test their hypotheses about their specific product or service. The last stage of the cycle is all about implementing feedback from the customers and improving the product based on actual market data, and then launching no sooner. This allows you to continuously improve your product or service quickly and cost efficiently. And that's exactly what Dropbox did. You know Dropbox, yes, that massive file sharing giant. Well, the first people to subscribe and use the product did so before any official launch. So Dropbox CEO Drew Houston made a 3-minute video. He explained how the service worked and gave potential customers a taste of the real product. And this is what is called building a beta product. So Dropbox's beta waiting list went from 5,000 to 75,000 people literally overnight. And this is the moment they made the decision to pivot or to persevere. In this case scenario, obviously to persevere, but pivoting is basically changing the product because the market isn't impressed enough. And let's face it, no one's going to buy your product. Just imagine you had gone ahead and built the whole thing as you would in a traditional business plan. Can you hear your grandparents crying? Persevering, on the other hand, is sticking to the initial plans and updating the product based on customer feedback. So build, measure, learn, and then build again and measure again and learn again some more. Yes, you need to keep this cycle up if you want to extend the shelf life of your product or make sure that your service keeps up with the times, because we don't want a Nokia or Kodak situation here, do we? And with Dropbox, Drew Houston's 3-minute video showed that customers were interested in the product, they wanted the service, they signed up for it. In other words, the market had really given Dropbox the green light to go ahead and launch its product. So the build, measure, upgrade cycle lets you use data from your customers' interactions with the beta product or the beta service to decide the next steps in the development of your product. Build a low-effort product, measure customer feedback, learn and make evidence-based decisions, build a product on the basis of customer feedback. It seems so obvious, doesn't it? This marks a massive key difference in how startups and traditional business models operate. One way to prevent failure is to regularly test basic ideas of a product or service with actual customers. So no falling asleep while the car drives on a hypothetical automatic plan mode. Subscribe if you want more on business, finance, brain hacks. Peace.